Welcome to today's Explainer. If you're a new freelancer, you probably already know the sheer frustration of the whole experience catch-22. You know the one. You need clients to get experience, but, well, you need experience to actually get clients. It's maddening. So today, we're going to break down the exact psychological playbook of how new freelancers actually win their first projects. And spoiler alert, it literally has nothing to do with having a massive 10-page resume.
Our source material today is a fantastic crash course from Yarra called Win Your First Client. What I absolutely love about this material is its incredibly calm, frictionless tone. Instead of hyping you up to aggressively sell yourself or telling you to fake it till you make it, it focuses entirely on the quiet art of reducing risk for the person hiring you. It's a completely different paradigm, and honestly, a huge relief.
Okay, let's dive into this by shattering a massive misconception. Most of us assume that when a client puts out a job, they run this perfectly logical, exhaustive analysis to strictly hire the absolute best person in the world for the task. The truth? They usually don't. Actually, scratch that. They almost never do. They aren't looking for absolute perfection. They are looking for a decision that just feels safe.
Which brings us to the giant question staring you right in the face. It's that anxiety-inducing fear every beginner asks. Why on earth would anyone hire me if I'm totally new? It's a completely valid question. But what this source material teaches us is that the answer isn't because you're perfect. The answer is because you can reduce uncertainty enough for them to confidently move forward. Let's look at exactly how we do that.
Here is our visible path for this explainer, so you know exactly what happens next. 1. Why clients say yes. 2. What first projects need. 3. Building trust before experience. And 4. Turning wins into momentum.
All right, section 1, why clients say yes. The triad of a yes.
A client says yes when 3 things perfectly align into what we can call the triad of a yes. Trust, meaning they actually believe you can handle the work. Value, meaning they clearly see what they get out of it. And clarity, meaning they understand exactly what happens next. The source uses a really brilliant analogy here. Think about buying a hot dog from a street vendor. You don't stand there running a full health and safety analysis in your head, right? No way. You look for small, simple signals. Does the cart look clean? Is there a line of happy people waiting? Is the pricing clear? Clients do the exact same thing when hiring you. They're just looking for small signals that saying yes to you is safe, clear, and worth it. No deep mental gymnastics required.
Let's move to section 2 and see how this builds. What first projects need.
And this brilliantly illustrates what a first project is really all about. It isn't about proving you're world famous, it's about checking 5 very specific boxes. You need proof of fit, which is just like finding a shoe that fits your foot comfortably. A visible path, like getting clear directions so you don't feel lost in a new city. Low risk, like testing the water with your toe before jumping in. Real value, fixing an immediate, annoying problem like a leaking faucet. And a human signal, feeling like you're just asking a calm, friendly neighbor for a favor. Your job here isn't to reinvent the wheel, it's simply to open a door that already has a lock. Just make your key fit smoothly.
Moving right along to the big elephant in the room, section 3, building trust before experience.
Okay, you really have to realize that trust is not some official certificate of your past history. It is simply the client's brain making a prediction about the future. Think of it like crossing a bridge. When you drive over a bridge, you don't get out of your car and inspect every single molecule of steel, do you? Of course not. You look at the everyday cues, the solid guardrails, the painted lines on the road, the fact that a bunch of other cars are crossing safely, and you feel secure. You just need enough everyday cues to feel safe crossing. Clients are reading your professional cues in the exact same way.
So what are those everyday cues for a freelancer? The source outlines 4 signals of trust you can generate right now with absolutely 0 experience required. Specificity tells them you understand their unique problem. Responsiveness shows you won't just mysteriously disappear on them. Careful thinking proves you have good judgment and won't just blindly click buttons. And professional ease shows that communicating with you won't feel like pulling teeth. When you align these 4 signals, it's like hearing the same melody played on different instruments. The sound changes slightly, but the song stays the same. The client hears a consistent song of reliability, and that builds massive trust before the project even starts.
Let's look at the sharp contrast between what people think works and what actually works. Vague freelancers brag broadly. They say things like, "I grow businesses," and pretend to know literally everything. They sound completely interchangeable. But a specific freelancer, they sound awake. They tell a client, "I help local service businesses make their contact pages clearer." And here is a total game changer. They are highly honest about their limitations. Admitting a small limitation, saying something like, I'm not 100% sure on that one specific detail, but I will figure it out and update you by tomorrow, actually makes you feel far more human, more stable, and vastly more trustworthy than someone faking absolute perfection.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it forces us to redefine a word we use all the time: professionalism. We usually think of it as this big performance, right? Wearing a stiff suit, using heavy corporate jargon, looking super important. But true professionalism is just predictability that reduces doubt. That's it. It's clear wording. It's a grounded, calm tone. It's doing exactly what you said you were going to do when you said you'd do it. When you make your process perfectly predictable, you strip away all the client's doubt.
Finally, Section 4, turning wins into momentum by diagnosing stalls.
So the crucial point is that landing even just your first client fundamentally changes your identity. You're no longer guessing, you actually understand the mechanics of the system. So when a conversation inevitably stalls, you can systematically diagnose it. If you get no response at all, well, your value probably isn't concrete enough. If they are hesitating, the next step of the project is likely too foggy for them. And if they seem interested but kind of uneasy, your trust signals are too thin. You go from feeling completely defeated and rejected to simply debugging the interaction. It's incredibly empowering.
I want to leave you with this ultimate paradigm shift. Stop asking, how do I look experienced? Start asking, what would make this person feel safe believing I can handle this? Look at your very next pitch and ask yourself, what will your next specific low-risk offer look like? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.